himself shall establish thee an holy people. Look at there. That is exactly what he said back here in 1 Peter chapter 2. A holy nation, a peculiar people. Deuteronomy 28:9. The Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee. The Lord himself, the Lord shall establish thee an holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Lord thy God and walk in his ways. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee. And so God is establishing a covenant with them and telling them, he said, you will be a holy people. He didn't say, now I want you to, oh please be a holy people. He said, no, you will be a holy people. That comes with the new birth, with the perfection that Christ brings in a new generation, a holy people. That's when that comes. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there, and so is Israel. Israel's going to get there too. And he said, and all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord. I think our lives should be a testimony that we are in fact called by the name of the Lord. Now let's move on. Deuteronomy 28 verse 13, and the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath, if that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day, to observe and to do them. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods and serve them. Now this is on the tail end of all the blessings. You need to read Deuteronomy 28. Of all the blessings that God said that he would give them. He said, blessed shalt thou be in the field, and blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shall be the fruit of thy womb. And he said all of these great blessings of the things, let's say that in our country, the things that we're enjoying right now, I will tell you that we are living off the blessings of God, and I think that we're living off the blessings of God from a previous generation. From a time when people just had, they may not have been saved, but they just had the morality and the decency of the law of God as a natural inclination in their heart. But things have been changing. And now we're going to see the curses come upon, number one, it comes upon people's lives. It comes upon churches and denominations. We see it. It comes upon nations. It came upon Israel. God is not mocked. If he said it's going to happen, that's what's going to happen. And so notice now we're getting into the cursings. Deuteronomy 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now the blessings overtook them. Now the curses are going to overtake them. Cursed shalt thou be in the city. Cursed shalt thou be in the field. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Cursed shall be... In fact, let me stop right here. Cursed shalt thou be in the city. September 11th, 2001. Cursed shalt thou be in the field, and cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Monsanto and Dow and everybody else is taking the product of the field and they're changing it. And we don't know what we're doing. I mean, they don't really know what they're doing and how they're changing the DNA structure of the seeds and the grains that we eat and the animals that we're eating. I'm telling you, they don't know what they're doing. And I think the curse is coming on them, number one, because we didn't listen to the Word of God. And number two, we said, you know what, it's not good enough. Let's change it. Keep that in mind. That will be some other Watchman broadcast. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. Verse 20, and the Lord shall send upon thee a cursing, vexation, and rebuke, in all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Now, look in verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. Now let's stop right here. We learn this when we study the Scriptures and learn how we understand the Bible. We have a video on this called the Understanding Prophecy series, understanding the direct prophets like Isaiah and Malachi and Elijah and what God was saying to Moses here in Deuteronomy 28. We understand that God speaketh once, yea, twice. There was a partial, typical fulfillment, and there will be a complete, perfect, anti-typical fulfillment in the last days. And so the partial fulfillment was the 10 northern tribes being taken up into Assyria, a people that they didn't know. The tribe of Judah being taken into Babylon, a people they didn't know. That's the partial fulfillment. There's coming a perfect fulfillment. And I want you to look at the language of the Scriptures. Unto another people. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand. The fruit of thy land and all thy labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. A nation which thou knowest not shall eat them up. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed alway, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see. Now notice verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto, here it is, a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. We're going to concentrate on this nation and who this nation is. God is going to give us clues as to who this nation is. Now, he said, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. So in the typical fulfillment, God took the children of Judah into the land of Babylon, and there they are. They're bowing down to the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up in the plain of Dura. Exactly the way God had spoken that it was going to happen. But there is coming a future, perfect fulfillment where they're all going to be worshiping a God whose image is set up, whose false prophet gives life to that image, and they're going to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. This is coming in the last days. Pay attention to the Bible. Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. And all thy trees and fruit of thy land shall, looky here, shall the locust consume. Now, we go immediately now to Revelation chapter 9, verse 2. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. So God is trying to identify now the nation that he really is talking about. He's going to identify them. He said, number one, there's going to be a nation. And number two, your sons and your daughters are going to go into captivity and you're not going to enjoy them. And then the locusts are going to consume everything that you have. That's what he was referring to. Revelation chapter 9. Those locusts are devils that right now are stuck or trapped or imprisoned in the bottomless pit that are going to be released in the last days. That's the nation that we're talking about here in this. Deuteronomy 28 verse 48. Look at this. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. Now stop right here. When we go back to the book of Revelation chapter 9, we see the star falling, and to him was given the key to the bottomless pit. The Bible doesn't say that this star, and I believe it was Lucifer, this angel didn't sneak in the chambers of Christ while his keys were sitting on the dresser and steal the keys in the middle of the night. That's not what happened. To him was given the key. God says, now it's time to release those rascals. Now I'm going to set them loose. Now, what I've been holding back all this time, I'm going to let them out. As my judgment, as the judgment that I swore I was going to perform back in Deuteronomy, I'm going to release them now upon planet Earth. Therefore, You look at it again. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst. Amos talked about that, a famine in the last days, a famine of the Word of God. And in nakedness, that's a type of shame.